What is up, Sanders? Today I'm going to be showing you how to build this trampler right here, which I think is one of the best beginner tramplers you should build after you're done with those default ones. This is what you should be building. First thing, this is it here behind me. You're going to need a few things from the tech tree, which is why go out, use the default ones for a little bit. Once you've got some stuff, then you can come and make this. In the tech tree, I'll show you each section one by one. So first off, you're going to need either this reactor or this reactor. This one's slightly better because it's got a frame. It doesn't really matter. Just the skinny long reactor, which is this one or this one. You then have to unlock this chassis just so you can get this one. This is the one you want to use, the middling. That's all you need from blue. Coming down to orange, you want this framed cargo deck. And then you also, having this cargo hold is better. You don't need it, but it is recommended to also have this one. That's it for the orange. Coming down to green, you're going to want this corner artillery deck. You're going to want the framed steering, and you're going to want the framed artillery deck. I also have the same, but just armored. It's better to have them armored, but you don't need it. Once you have those things unlocked, which shouldn't take you too long, really a couple days of farming, your first couple days, you'll probably have everything to unlock this stuff. You can then move on to building, and I'll show you how to do that now. So create new blueprint. I'll do it from scratch, step by step. All right, first step is pop in your middling chassis, which is this one. There you go. Now just take a look at where the arrow is pointing. This is the front of your trampler. You walk this way, just so you don't build it backwards. Make sure you know where this is. So put the arrow on the right, just so you follow along properly. First thing you're going to want to do is chuck the reactor in. The reason we use the skinny long one is because you can put it like that right in the middle, and then we can surround it with stuff and keep it as protected as possible. It has obviously has one thing poking out the back. As long as you don't have it poking out like that, it's still very hard to hit. All right, next thing is pop this two-person cabin here. You want the door on that side, right next to the reactor. You are then going to connect the entrance to this, like that. Swing around to the front. You can then go to the cargo area and grab the framed cargo deck, this one, and pop it here. Now make sure if it's like this, you can't get out of this door. I've done that before. You just click on it and press space and it rotates, and have it like that so you can actually get out of the door. Now in front of that, you want to have your framed gun deck. So that one, you also want to have another one right there. And in the middle, you're going to put your framed helm like that. Coming around to this side here, you could put another cargo deck, but the more of these you put down, the more weight that's on your trampler and the less movability you're going to have. So really you want to have the minimum amount of these, and you'll see when I'm finished building, I think you have enough storage. When I used this in a Storm Dive game, we went to the very end of Storm Dive. I think we killed 3 or 4 tramplers and took the loot from them, and we weren't full. So it's kind of very hard to fill it up. If you need more storage, you can add it in, but for the sake of keeping the weight low, I just chuck this empty frame here. Then right behind this is the cargo room. If you don't have this cargo room, you could just use another cargo deck, but you want it protecting the reactor, which is the reason we have it. If you're getting shots from this way, it's hitting your cargo room instead of hitting your reactor. Behind the cargo room is then where you're going to put the captain's compartment, like this. Now the reason we set it up like this is because if you press T or you click here, you can see where all the doors are. You can click this button to change the doors. See, for some reason there isn't a door here. If you click it, there's a door. So the reason the captain compartment is back here is because this is where you take over the trampler from. So if someone was to board and walk up this ladder, they've got to get through this door. They've got to then come around here, get through this door and this door before they can think about taking it over. So also just make sure that these doors are not shut like that and they are not open. You have them as a door. And that is the bottom completely done. Now, before we go and do the top, I just want to show you why it's built like this. If I remove this, maybe you can see a bit better. So you should have 2 people downstairs pretty much at all times. You're going to have the person driving and then somebody on a cannon. And the reason for that is as soon as you need repairs, the cannon man can hop off or the driving person can hop off, and all repairs are right back here. All you got to do is run back. The reactor repairs is these 4 patches and then these pipes. And then bedroom repairs is just straight through the doors. You don't have to go down ladders. You don't have to run to the other side of your trampler to check on your reactor. It's literally right behind the helm. So you can keep an eye on everything from right here. It's all very compact. Moving on to the top, something you're going to want to do before you build anything. Turn back on the door connections. Make sure you have some ladders going to the top because right now there's none. Everywhere you see this little X is where you can put a ladder. So you can drop one down here, you can drop one down here, you can drop one down here, which is in the entrance room. If you are worried about borders, probably don't put this one in, because if they get through one door, they can then get to the top and then they can drop down. The main one I like putting is here, because if you have this one here, it blocks your run to the reactor if you need to run back there from Helm. Then building the top is very simple. This is where you're going to want your corner guns. Again, I have the armored ones. You don't need the armored ones. Pop them on either corner. In the middle, you are then going to chuck another cargo hold. If you don't have this, you can use just a normal frame, but the idea is that this blocks shots coming from the front and blocks them from hitting this reactor funnel. Obviously, you're fighting like this, it blocks the funnel from getting hit. The reason you have these corner ones is because they still can shoot forward. I'll draw some lines now of the angles that these can shoot. They still point forwards, but they also do a much better job at pointing pretty much directly to the side. These make it completely possible, even if the Trampler comes all the way out 90 degrees to you on the side, you can still hit it with this cannon, when these front-facing ones wouldn't be able to. So it helps having these up here for just a wider field of view. The other thing I like doing with this cargo hold is fully opening it up like this, so you can run between these guns. Then for the back, I only put one turret, again trying to keep the weight down. Also, like I said before, this is the vulnerable point of the Trampler. If anyone is behind you, they can hit the reactor. It's only this one cube plus the funnel. So when you are driving this, keep everything in front. That's the whole goal. Then the final touch that I add in is more frames to protect the reactor. Obviously, directly front on, the funnel is blocked by this, but side on, they could hit the funnel. This side, they could hit the funnel. And you can still block that with these supporting frames. And you can just chuck these all around the reactor like this and have it essentially completely encased. So this is the complete setup of how I'm using this Trampler. But you can change any of this, obviously, if you want. This is just the template. There's an argument that maybe you want to put that back there, and you can chuck another cannon on front if you have enough people to man all those cannons. Or maybe if you do want to fit more people on, you can get rid of some of these. You can put some more crew rooms on the top like that and have, I think this now has 5 people. There you go. So you can have 5 people on, and that protects the reactor great, actually, from that side at least. So yeah, that is it. I am filming this a couple days before Sand comes out, so hopefully it all still works when the game drops. And I'll put this video out the day or the day after Sand comes out, so you can get straight on this and start destroying some of the people in default Tramplers. That is it. See you guys around.